The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer of sports talk and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlinsky as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversation going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering room. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get in. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk, and a whole lot more for this 26th day of October 2025. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code BellyUpSports at checkout and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all their great articles and podcasts that are all over there, and make sure, it's all the sports info you could possibly need. Lots of football talk this time of year, obviously, and obviously the World Series is going on, and that's what we'll go. Actually, before we get going, my Twitter account got or X, whatever you want to call it, it got compromised on Friday. Somebody got into it and I can't get back into it. So the at _1420 is no longer, I don't think it's going to come back the way the feedback has come from Twitter. They don't really care a whole bunch, but the 3,800 followers that I had on there are now gone. So if you can go to at 1420 1420 POD 1420 pod, it's actually the old SeatGeek promo code. It's that's what the Twitter account is right now. So we're going to try to build up that fan base once again, because it got compromised. I don't know how, don't know what or why someone would want to pick on little old me, but they went out there and did that. So make sure you go to when you go to Twitter, follow us at 1420 pod and subscribe and like and share and all that stuff to the different accounts. But anyways, World Series time. And it's been great so far. We've had great baseball. We've had great pitching. We've had grand slams. We've had home runs. We've had unbelievable atmosphere in Toronto. And of course, we've had utter stupidity. I don't know where to start. Actually, start with a positive note. The two games have been kind of night and day from each other. A lot of offense in game one from the Toronto Blue Jays. The Barger grand slam was something to behold. The whole country got almost hear it right across the country. People cheering for it. And then the Yamamoto unbelievable game last night on Saturday night that he had on the mound. He retired 20 guys in a row. Big 5-1 win. Looked like the Jays had some chances earlier on, and we'll start there. Actually, it's like the Jays had some chances in both games. You're thinking, geez, this isn't going to go very well. The way game one and game two started out, and game one or game two especially, they had a couple runners on, and they had some chances to score, and just didn't get that hit. And Vladdy, Yamamoto was unbelievable. Just couldn't get anything going. But it was interesting to see that they had some chances. Like what we said before in the world of sports, if you don't strike hard, strike fast, no mercy, sir. Like Cobra Kai used to be back in the original Karate Kid days. Then it kind of comes back to bite you, and that's what happened with the Jays last night. But then Yamamoto just got on a wagon and just didn't stop going. And it's kind of unfortunate considering how good Gausman was. And Gausman looks a lot like Kenny Loggins for all those you 80s fans out there who every soundtrack had a Kenny Loggins song on it, but so Gausman, the Kenny Loggins S Danger Zone kind of a deal. But he had a great outing of his own. He gave up, he got 17 guys in a row at one point, and they were rolling. And they gave the 2 home runs in the 7th inning, kind of put the game away. But I think they could have went 34 innings last night, and Yamamoto was just rolling like that. He would have got nothing. He wouldn't have given anything up. So it was interesting to watch that go, and how they kind of got on the game on Saturday or Friday night, when the Jays ended up making Blake Snell and his no chin throw a whole bunch of pitches in that first inning. And that kind of changed the outcome of that ball game, because then the Dodgers had to go to their bullpen early and often, and that was the big difference in that game. And it was one inning when it comes down to it. I was talking to a guy yesterday at the ballpark. I was broadcasting some games for the college team here in Lethbridge, and he said it was one inning. And that's what it was. They gave up 9 runs in the 1 inning. Otherwise, it's a 4-2 ball game. I mean, ifs and buts, candies and nuts. But basically, the Dodgers had one really bad inning where that got away from them. Otherwise, it would be 2-0 right now. And that's just the facts. But it's not. It's 1 game apiece. And the New York Yankees, or the not New York Yankees, they have no chance. We might talk with them a little bit. But the Toronto Blue Jays have a legitimate shot. If they can win 1 out of 3 and get this thing back to Toronto, where they had the best record in baseball at home, I believe, and one of the best records in the American League, then they have a shot at winning this thing. They got to win 1 out of 3 in LA, and the best team in the American League. Why can't they do it? Why can't the Toronto Blue Jays go out and do it? Are they in a heap of trouble going there? I'd say they're in a little bit of trouble. It could be 3 and done because the Dodgers are a wagon and everything else, but the Jays can hit, and the Jays showed it. Nobody in the league was hitting Yamamoto. Yamamoto's probably at the 32 or 35, whatever million he's making a year. Is probably an underpayment right now, considering what some other guys are getting paid and how good this guy has been this year with two starts, 9-inning complete games in the playoffs. That don't happen very often. There was only 29 complete games in the major leagues all year this year, and he had 2 of them in the playoffs already, 2 within just over a week. That's unheard of at this day and age, and how analytics, everything else. This guy only was at 79 pitches in the 8th, so you had to go with him. So the numbers went out the window, and so it was really nice to see a pitcher get this kind of an opportunity. Yeah, it was against the Jays, but it was good to see baseball being played it the right way, and it was or pitched the right way and managed the right way, and didn't let tomorrow get ahead of him, because you can't win the championship game if you're not in it. So if you don't give the ball away to anybody else, that's what the Dodgers did last night, and they got the win with Yamamoto. Like I said, if they would have had, he could have pitched for a month, and they weren't going to score a run off of him. So that was interesting to see that happen last night with that game. But going into the game on this week, I don't know if I would go with Scherzer in Game 3. He's a bit of a wild card. You don't know where you're going to get. He has such a great start against the Mariners in the AL or in the ALCS, that he kind of revitalized himself, and he got a little bit of backing from the fan base. But fans have a very short memory how bad he was. So he got one good start, and one good game does not a career make. But Scherzer, I think I would go with Bieber in game 3, and then go to Scherzer in Game 4. That's just my opinion. You can't lose it, because you can go back to this Savage thing. He wasn't great on Friday, but he was really good. He was good enough, and he gave his team a chance to win. I think that's the biggest thing this time of year. He just he got the job done. You don't know how many more starts this guy's going to have, and I think if they can get 6 more innings out of him, or five and a half, 6 innings out of him, or 5 1/3, 5 2/3. No, it's not a half an inning. We'll get to halves too in half a second here. But I just thought that was just about the right amount of time to get out of Savage on Friday night's game. I would go with Bieber on Monday, and then to Scherzer. A bit more of a calming influence Bieber is compared to Scherzer, the madman. But they might need that after not having the greatest of games, and kind of got lulled to sleep and just couldn't get anything done against Yamamoto on Saturday night. But it's been fun. Said it before, and I'll say it again. When the Jays are relevant in baseball in Canada, it's a good thing for me. It's a good thing for the sport. In Canada. I'm talking in Canada. I know we got a ton of American listeners, but it's good for the sport in Canada when they're relevant. There was people that never watched the sport of baseball before this year. They're younger people I've talked to. They're like not baseball people, but just people like at my local watering hole. But they got invested in it, and they're enjoying it because it's something that they haven't really had something to cheer about. You remember, it's been 10 years since that those Vladdy or those Josh Donaldson days and Jose Bautista. It's been 10 years since that. So an 18 or a 19-year-old person or a 20-year-old person, they'd have been 10 years old and just really getting into the sports world. Whereas now they're watching a lot more, and they're invested in it because people are having fun watching it. And that's what it's supposed to be all about this time of year. If there's a bandwagoner, jump on, have fun. Let's get as many people on this thing as we can, and enjoy the game of baseball. Because we only got another week, like a week from today, season's over. there won't be a baseball game for another 6 months after that. So you got to get your fix in while you can. And for me, it's fantastic. Like where we usually go and have a couple. We were watching the game there for the last couple of nights, and the place is packed, having a good time. And they never have the sound on there. It's more of a classy pub kind of a place than it is a sports bar. So we went there and really enjoyed it. People were really having a good time, and that's what it's supposed to be all about. It's supposed to grow the fan base. It's supposed to grow the game. It's supposed to be about camaraderie, and it's supposed to be about community, and it's supposed to be about all that stuff. It's supposed to that's what makes sports great, and so that's what it's supposed to be about. So it's been really good to have lots of people jump on the bandwagon. I was listening to a show the other day. I can't remember what it was on, but there was a guy calling in from Toronto. It was a radio show, it wasn't a podcast, but he was in jest. He was kidding around how it's Toronto's team, not Canada's team, and all the people who hate Toronto all year long, like it's mainly a hockey bias. People don't like the Maple Leafs. They don't like how the sports networks are very Toronto based. And this guy who called in, he was tongue in cheek. He was saying something, no, all you bandwagon jumpers, get out. We don't want you. This is Toronto's team, not Canada's team. And he was having fun with it, but it was really kind of funny how the two sides differ throughout the year. But when it comes to baseball, it is Canada's team, and a lot of fans. There are some fans in the States. There's no getting around that. It's just really fun to be a part of and to get the fan base involved. When Barger hit that home run on Friday night, that grand slam, me and Deanne were at home. We got back from Browns there, and we got the grand slam, and she was jumping up and down ecstatic and was crying how happy she was. And then when the Jays clinched against Seattle last week after the Springer dinger, still don't like him. And there's a reason why they're going inside on him. I think it's the story's twofold. One, he played for that Astros team, and he kind of didn't take a lot of responsibility, but hasn't really said a bunch. So he's not really well liked throughout the baseball world. This is my opinion. And I think he's having trouble getting that high fastball. So he's getting worked inside a lot. And it looks deliberate. Like they're not hiding the fact that the balls are going up and in on this guy. So it's kind of people are getting a little bit upset. But I get it. I totally understand it as an old school baseball guy. I get it while the pitch are going up and in on both sides of the coin. I totally understand that. But she was very emotional because she's originally from Toronto and she's a Toronto sports fan. But after the Springer home run, the place we were Boston Pizza that night, and the place went bananas, and it was such a great time and a great atmosphere, and you don't get that very often, with the game of baseball, and it was really fun to watch. And the fans who follow baseball, people, and this isn't just in Canada, but people who follow the game and watch the game religiously, they get it. The hand on the mouth, the nervousness between every pitch, they get it. And it's fun to be a part of that. I know I've harped on that a lot, but now with the Jays involved, and it's been a lot of fun too. So like I said, she was tears were rolling down her face the other night when after Barger hit that grand slam, and she says we're the 3 outs. They're 3 games away from getting this thing done. Can they do it? It's going to be tough, but I still think that they have a really good shot. On the Bo Bichette front, he looks hurt. And that's probably why he didn't play. Let's say he got a pinch hit appearance. If they can get one good swing out of him in this next, it's down to the best of 5 now. If they can get one good swing out of this guy that can put him over the hump, I get putting him in the lineup. Like not having, I can't remember who the guy that they took off the 26 man, but it doesn't much matter at this point. They can get one good swing out of him. They only got two little chintzy base hits the other night, and they took him out for IKF. But if they can get anything like one hit out of this guy, it might be worth it. And for all the people that are saying they only put him on the roster because he's going to be a free agent, he would have been butthurt, and his agent would have been mad if he didn't get on the roster for the World Series. I think that's a crock of crap. At this point, the Jays can't think that way. They can't think about next year at all. They're not worried about next year. Win this year, and that buys them 10 years of baseball freedom with their fan base. So anybody saying that, they're out of their freaking mind. That it was the Bichette camp and his agent saying he had to be on the roster. They're going to be signing elsewhere. I think he's signing elsewhere regardless. He wants to be a shortstop, and I don't think I think they found Jimenez, who can obviously not hit as well, but he's a better shortstop defensively, and that's where you're kind of at right now with the game of baseball. So having a guy there to get one swing out of him, and I think that's the only reason why he's there. If he gives him one, then great. If he doesn't, well, what are you going to do? Yeah, you'd be an idiot to not put the guy in. And that's probably the biggest thing. You have a guy who had a fantastic year, probably just about the MVP of their team behind Springer, but it's interesting to see that he's out there. And if you have a chance to put the guy in and get one swing, then that's great. If they didn't, then it would have been the court of public opinion, and they're always right no matter what. So that's where we stand with that. So that's the good part of this thing. Down to the best of 5. There's could be 5 baseball games left. There could be 3. And so this is gonna be a lot of fun to watch the next week. But it's all said and done. It could be done by next Saturday night. Let's get to the bad. I'm not saying the stand up to cancer thing. I'm not saying anything about that. They do it every year, and I think it's a great moment, and people have that. And it's in the World Series for every year since I can't remember when. And so that's the thing they always just do. It takes a minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever it is. But when I put my head down or put my face into a beer, whatever it was, all of a sudden the Jonas Brothers are on TV. I was baffled. I have watched I don't know how many baseball games in my career or my life. Been a part of the game for a long time. I have never seen something as dumb as that and leave it to Major League Baseball to interject a freaking Jonas Brothers 2-minute song. I don't know what the song was about. Was it cancer? Was it I don't know. But that was the dumbest thing I've seen almost ever in the history of watching professional sports. I don't know what would possess them to think we need this on a baseball game. It's not banana ball. It's the World Series, and coaches and players and especially pitchers, they have a rhythm that they get into. Could that pitcher been sitting in the dugout for half an hour in a long inning? Probably, maybe it does happen. But when the inning's over, they want to get out there, get warming up. It didn't harm Yamamoto one bit, but just the way it was just kind of just suddenly appeared. Like nobody's asking for it. Nobody knew it was coming. Was it a surprise? Was it something that I didn't know because I wasn't watching the Fox broadcast up here in Canada? I was watching the sports channel. Sports has been fantastic. It's been really good. The Jays coverage has been phenomenal. And then afterwards, I've been listening to Blair and Barker on the radio on Sportsnet Radio. It's been fantastic coverage for this World Series, and rightfully so. It is Canada's only team, and so it's been great. But that Jonas Brother thing, that was the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time. And I don't know what I hope they don't try it again with some band out in LA or some other thing out in New York or else whatever else. Like before the game, yeah, after, yeah, great. But during the halftime, there is no halftime in baseball. There isn't. You get a minute and a half between innings or 2 minutes between innings, and that's it. Don't have this stupid concert thing. That was the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. And I hope they never ever do that again. And maybe it was a trial run that they just went awry and they didn't get it right, but it was really quite stupid. But now let's get to the ugly. And you hate to do this because it's this time of year with the game of baseball, and it's a thinking man's game. And it's supposed to be fun. And when your team's got a chance to win the World Series, not my team. Like obviously my team hasn't been playing for quite some time now. But I've kind of adopted them for the next week and a half or 2 weeks for them to try to win one and see what they can do and bring the game of baseball to go some front page news here in Canada. But how this becomes a political thing on both sides of the border is beyond me. Like it's the game of baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays have been around since 1970. I want to say 77 or 78, and how this political discourse comes into the great game of baseball or into sports in general is a mystery to me. Nobody's asking, nobody's looking, nobody's saying this, nobody with any brains in their head is saying that this is us versus them. It's not. It's not the four nations face off. It's not the elbows up thing because of the tariffs that happened back in February. It has nothing to do with anti-MAGA, pro-MAGA, anti-American, pro-American. It has nothing to do with that. It's because there's a team in Canada that everybody watches. It's on every station right across our country. That's it. This has nothing to do with a distaste of Americans or a dislike or anything. And for any Canadian pundit or any Canadian Twitter sphere idiot or anybody to say that this is us versus them and trying to make a political statement out of this, you're a complete idiot. This has nothing to do with what's going on behind closed doors in the White House, Parliament, Congress, Trump's ears, Carney's ears, nothing. This has nothing to do with that. So quit trying to make it about that and trying to cause more of a divide between people who don't need to be divided, who aren't trying to be divided. This has nothing to do with that. It's ridiculous that these separatists in Alberta are saying, yeah, we're going to go. This has nothing to do with any of that. It is ridiculous to think that it's the World Series. It's not. It's called the World Series, but this is America's pastime. I know that it's played all over the world. Some places not very well. Some places played fantastic, but this is called America's pastime for a reason. And Canada's not trying to take your identity. Canada's not trying to steal they're not trying to steal your game. They're not trying to steal your pastime. We got hockey. We got lacrosse. We're not trying to do that. It's about people enjoying the game of baseball. It's about people enjoying sport. It's about people enjoying community. It's about people from coast to coast who have a passion for this team. And that's all this is about. That's all this is about. It has nothing to do politically. It has nothing to do with, yeah, we have one Canadian guy in our team, maybe two. That's like, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Like if you go down the rosters, how many guys are Latin American on both teams? Right? Like, who cares where the guys are from? Who cares what town they play in? This has nothing to do. There's people who are Dodger fans who live in Toronto. There's people who are Toronto fans who live in LA. This has nothing to do with international borders or boundaries or anthems or flags or any of that nonsense. This has nothing to do with that. And for anybody to suggest that, you're an idiot. I will say that once again. For anyone to say that this is a political event is a complete and utter idiot. If you're doing it for clicks and you're laughing behind closed doors at people who are commenting on you, I got something like I got back up on my Twitter today or yesterday with the 1420 pod account and reading stuff, and there are some people who just don't understand how this all works and how people just want to turn their brains off. And that's one of the very first, it was actually one of the first podcasts I did way back in 2020, was that when the sport's supposed to be about having fun and just watching it, watching a game and turning the world off for a few hours, just turning everything off and not worrying about this or that or like any of it, because there's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot going on that none of us can control. There's a lot going on in everybody's everyday lives that you just struggle to get by. But if you can turn on the TV for 3 hours and just forget about it and enjoy the game, that's what it's about. For people to be proud because they're Canadians, that's good. For people to be proud they're Americans, that's good. Being a proud Canadian doesn't mean I'm anti-American. Doesn't mean that at all. Like when like people, like when they played the national anthem on Friday, and that was quite the show that it was put on by that group of people. It looked like some gospel choir. I don't know what it was. It was pretty awesome, but people were singing "O Canada" in the bar, and that's fun. It's not an anti-Canadian sentiment or an anti-American sentiment. And for anyone to suggest that it is, you're looking for trouble. And you're trying to divide people even more, and that's not what sports is about. Sports is about bringing people together, and that's what this was all about. If it's mind blowing that people have to find a way to drive a wedge in between people nonstop, because that's not how it should be. It's supposed to be fun. Life's hard enough. Guys put on hard hats every day. Life's tough. Wear a helmet, like it is. But it shouldn't get down to this kind of a situation where people cause problems just for clicks and laughs and say, watch what I can do. And to have all this political discourse about something that's not political at all. Not. Like, you see morons like Theron Fleury bemoaning our Fleury's got to go away. He's an absolute ass. Ass isn't a swear. It's 22:54, so I'm still going strong with the no swear word so far in this show. But for Fleury to be denouncing the Blue Jays because Prime Minister Carney was in the dugout talking to these guys, who cares? Like whatever, man. Go and complain to the stars and the moon or whoever it is you pray to these days. Just quit it. Watch the game and shut up. Watch the game. Talk about what happened. Talk about the outs, strikes, and balls and safes, home runs, and good times. To divide people and say you're not watching this, good, then just go away. He's muted on the new accounts, by the way, because I didn't. He just showed up on my For You timeline. Like, just watch the game, enjoy it, complain about it, cheer for your team, cheer against the other team. It's not about cheering against the U.S. or America. It's not against cheering against Canada. It's not. That's not what this is about. We know we're not the greatest baseball nation. That's not a mystery. That's not a mystery. We're not saying because if the Jays win the World Series, we're the powerhouse of baseball supremacy. We know we're not. We know we're not. Like, we're not trying to be. All we're trying to be is enjoy the great game of baseball while we can, while everybody's like a baseball fan of myself. It's got more people enjoying the game, more people watching it, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing. And that's what this is all about. Cheering for the Jays is a great thing. I'd probably be cheering for the Mariners because the Mariners are close to Seattle playing the Dodgers. And another thing, as far as the Dodgers ruining baseball, who's ruining baseball? Small market teams. Listen to Jim, the fan of the van, the other day. He had a great take on who's ruining baseball, so I won't take his thunder. But he was talking about how the small market teams, they don't spend. We've talked about this a lot, but Jim had a lot of good, he actually had some data that was good, and he did a little research first time in old Jimmy Boy's podcasting career. He did some research. It wasn't just flying off the seat of his pants, which he does very well. But he had a lot of good points about who's ruining baseball, and it's not the LA Dodgers, it's not the New York Yankees, it's not the Chicago Cubs or Toronto Blue Jays. You look at what's happening with Tariq Skubal. They're threatening to trade him this offseason because the Tigers won't be able to sign him. Little Caesar's Pizza makes enough money on that own business to not worry about trading or signing Skubal. Give him whatever he wants. He's the best player you guys got. I know he's a Boris Klein's going to want $500 million. Give it to him. Give your fan base something to cheer about for the next 10 years or 5 years or 8 years, whatever it might be. You got 2 playoff dates this year. If you keep him for another year, you might get more playoff dates and get that money back in a season or 2. So keep Skubal. That's what's ruining baseball. These small market teams who pretend to be small market and not have any money, that's what's ruining baseball. It's not the Dodgers wanting to win, and the Dodgers wanting to give their fan base something to cheer about year after year. That's not what's ruining baseball. That's not. It's the dishonest owners who are ruining baseball. That's what's ruining the game. Players should be getting paid. Absolutely. The owners are making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. We'll get off that. We'll get off the anti-Canada and anti-U.S. sentiment. Once again, America, this isn't a Canadian saying that we're anti-American. We just want our team to win. That's all. That's all it is. We want our team to win. You want your team to win? We want our team to win. That's it. And we only have one, right? We only have one. If it was a Canadian team versus a Canadian team, who would you be cheering for? That's all we got. So we're cheering for them. That's all it's about. It's not an anti-MAGA, anti-American, and anti-United States. It's not that. It's really not. And for Canadians to be trying to push that envelope as well, that we're against the U.S., it's not us against them. Canadians, quit being stupid. Just watch the game or don't. In fact, you know what? When it comes to you people like that, I shouldn't say you people, but when it comes to those type of people, they don't have to jump on the bandwagon. They can stay away, because if they're trying to just drive a political wedge in the great game of baseball, you're not welcome into my sport. That's just my take. Anyways, 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Beer Sports Talk, and a whole lot more. That segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code BellyUpSports over there at SeatGeek and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Don't have a mouse. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky. Thanks to Righteous Felon for being a proud supporter of Belly Up Sports for quite some time. Go to RighteousFelon.com and save yourself 15% off the best jerky in the land over there at Righteous Felon by using promo code Belly Up Sports. So the NBA, I haven't watched the game. I don't care about the NBA at the best of times, and this is not the best time for the NBA, but FBI investigation, the Cosa Nostra, the mob, gambling, poker, X-ray glasses, everything kind of came into play earlier this week when Kash Patel himself with his wonky eyes, I shouldn't make fun. I wasn't making fun. I'm just saying he has wonky eyes. Came out and they said, 30 people got arrested, including some NBA people. And the gambling thing came up. The first thing was some illegal poker games, which I don't understand. The poker is legal everywhere. Why they got illegal ones? Money laundering, and then the mob, and then the point shaving, and the which has been around for a long time. We'll talk about that in half a second. But the insider information given out by NBA players to certain people, that certain people weren't playing. LeBron was one of them. LeBron wasn't involved in the investigation. LeBron was the guy that was let people know that he wasn't playing. So some insider information that wasn't out. So they took the under, and on it went. But anyways, and then so people are instantly blaming gambling sites and how it's a bit hypocritical how the NBA can go and say, well, it's pretty. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth when you're sponsored by BetMGM, by FanDuel, by sports books all over the place, and you got arenas named after sports, so like sports gambling sites. So how they're talking on both sides of their mouth, but I get it. I get how people would instantly jump to that conclusion. How it's kind of a you're doing that, but at the end of the day, these guys are supposed to their fault. Their fault. If you watch Charles Barkley, he talked the other night about how it's just the guys who get caught up in this are stupid, and I couldn't agree with him anymore. You're making 25 to 30 million bucks a year, and that's pretty much the average what some of these guys are making. And to go out and make bets and for 40 grand, what are you doing? Or for 10 grand, what are you doing? You're an idiot. I'm using that word a lot today. But for the NBA to, or for people to just start instantly blaming sports books have just made it more public. That's all it's done. Betting apps have just made it more public. All these leagues are doing is just getting a cut in the pie that's always been out there. This gambling thing isn't new. It's not new at all. Is it more accessible? Yeah. Is it easier to get to? Yeah. But I'm not like I don't gamble. I bet sports bet once a year maybe, but it just made it more public and easier for people to get to. And it got it away from the mob in the underground, and it got it away from the guy in down at the docks, or the guy or right just in Vegas alone, right? So I'm not blaming these sites for this gambling thing to happen. Is it going to get deeper? Is it going to get bigger? Probably. I personally think it's just going to go away. Nothing else going to come of it. That's my own opinion. Jim, fan of the van, I asked on Twitter this morning what people thought that was going to go away. He said no, it's going to get a lot bigger. It might. It might, but I think they also would have put everybody out at once, or else they're giving or this conspiracy theory. They're letting the big boys, if there are some big boys, I'm not going to name names. I don't know anything. I'm not going to pretend to know anything. I'm not going to go for clickbait or click rage or whatever. But they might be giving the big boys a chance to clear their names first, or get their ducks in a row, and then they're going to announce some things. That might be the one way that's going about doing things. But I don't blame these sports betting apps for this. I blamed stupid people for doing this, for getting involved in this. It has nothing to do with that. Like it'd be like back in the 80s and the 90s, everything sponsored by beer and cigarettes, to blame people, everybody having alcohol problems and lung cancer on sports teams. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. People have their own choice, their own thought processes. Because advertising's out there doesn't mean you got to do it. Is it pounded into your brain so you might get in there a bit more? Yeah, a little bit. But if you don't gamble, you don't gamble. I don't. I watch more sports than just about anybody. So you don't. It's your own personal choice. You don't have to be a part of it. Like if you don't do it, you don't do it. Like if you're not a drinker, whenever, like I said, when everything was sponsored by beer and cigarettes back in the 80s and the 90s, it was a Marlboro series. Like it was like for NASCAR, right? And everything was sponsored by Budweiser and Bud Light, not TikTok, right? Didn't make people alcoholics. Didn't help. I mean, because beer was a big part of things. That's why I have a sports podcast, 1420 Sports Bar. But it's your own personal choice. Sports, like these gambling apps, have nothing to do. I don't have any gambling apps on my phone. Did we promote one at one time? Yeah. Try to make a few bucks, whatever. I should get mine. Just like the NBA. If all these sports betting apps and casinos and whatever else is making a ton of money off of these leagues, why shouldn't the league make a few bucks off it? That doesn't give these athletes the right to go out and be a part of it. If the rules are the rules, that's just what it is. Major, like I've said to you guys on this show before, back in 1997 when I went to professional umpire school, they showed us the same rules that are in every clubhouse. Every clubhouse in Major League Baseball, minor league baseball, don't bet on baseball. That's one of the rules. Don't bet on baseball, you'll be banned. Pete Rose found out the hard way. Don't bet on the sport. Don't put yourself in position. And basketball, probably the easiest one to put yourself in a bad position. It'd be easy to miss a free throw. No one's 100%. If you're supposed to get the under, pass it. It'd be easy to clank one off the rim. It wouldn't be hard at all. You could look like you're putting in a great effort. Had a bad night. People have bad nights all the time. It'd be so easy to get caught up in that. And for the mob, and the mob knows that, and these money guys know that. Hey, throw me a couple bucks. Or if you don't, maybe your family's like, this is going Goodfellas crap. But we don't know what these people had hanging over their heads. We don't know. These guys got hooked up with something. Was that Tim Donaghy, the NBA official? He would call fouls for free throws. Or if the over was this, he would do this. Like he knew what he was doing. It wouldn't be hard to do. There's nothing to do with sports books and sports betting. That's my own opinion. Does it make it easier? Yeah. But I don't think it's anybody. I don't think it's their fault solely for this happening. Bettors are going to bet no matter what. Degenerates are degenerates no matter what. It's just a little bit easier. Instead of calling your bookie or whoever, you just get on your phone, hit a few buttons, it's done. Makes it legal. So now the government's getting a cut in it. It's not going to some guy's pocket. It's all on the up and up. As much as gambling can be on the up and up. But I'm not surprised this happened. It's been happening in college basketball how many years ago before iPhones even existed? It's been happening in professional sports no matter before how long it existed. Sports betting apps don't have anything to do with this problem. It makes it easier for the average person to get to it. Absolutely. But that's not the reason why this occurred. This has nothing to do with that. And it's be so close-minded that you're talking at both sides of your mouth. It sure is rich for the betting apps and the NBA and the NHL and the Major League Baseball to be making money. They're making it because why shouldn't they? They're the business. They're holding the golden goose. Without the league, you're not going to have these sports betting apps. Without these multi-billion-dollar teams, multi-billion-dollar leagues, without them, these sports apps don't make any money. So you have to have one to even think about having the other. So why shouldn't the NBA make money off of it? Why shouldn't the NHL, the NFL, and the other and for people to complain about these leagues? They shouldn't be complaining about leagues. Like it's the networks as well. You can't turn a game on without the networks making money off of it. How many shows are about betting? How many shows are about fantasy? How many shows are about the line, like whatever? More people watch games now because of bets and because of the action they got in the game, the over/under, the prop bets, and not to mention the fantasy football, which is $1 billion operation too. So why shouldn't the leagues get involved in it? They should get a slice in the pie too. But it comes down to one thing. These guys when they sign their contracts, they can't do anything detrimental to the league, to themselves, or their team. Simple. Don't bet on sports. If you're involved in them, don't. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Should you be able to bet? Should you be able to bet on a hockey game? Yeah. If you're involved in the NFL, bet on a hockey game. If you're involved in the NFL, bet on a basketball game. Simple. But betting in the NBA has been around forever. Like you go back to the conspiracy theory when Jordan first retired that first time that he was asked to leave for a little bit because the gambling allegations were getting pretty heavy. So this isn't new. Why everybody's shocked? It's funny to me, but this isn't new. Jordan, like I still like that theory that Jordan was asked to say, "Hey, you're the best player in the world by far. You're the face of the league. Can you just retire and go away for a while? Because if this comes out, we're going to look really bad, and you're going to look really dumb. So just go away for a couple of years, and we'll just sweep this under the rug." That's what I think happened with the Jordan thing. So that's just happening all over again. This will go away. It always does. Somebody else will do something stupid later on this week, and we'll be talking about that. This NBA gambling thing, it's going to go away. Just like everything else does. We talk about something else on Tuesday. We talk about something else on Wednesday. And that's how sports works. That's how the world works in general. So anyways, there's the, I got an update on Bernie. He won't go for a walk. Bernie will not go for a walk. He's decided that he'll go to the end of the driveway, and that's good enough for him. He goes for he bucks out of his leash and everything else, but he'll run around the backyard, up and down the stairs, does all that stuff good now. But as far as going for a walk, Bernie's no go. I took him over to Spit Stadium this morning and locked the gates up and everything. It's just me and him at the old ballpark down on in Lethbridge here, and I threw a ball and he ran like a bastard going to get it. So it was a lot of fun. So me and Bernie out there at the ballpark. So he likes doing that. He almost took my hand off, tried to grab the ball out of his mouth. He dropped the ball and bit my mitt. Almost got a pop in the nose. I'm not a dog abuser though, so I didn't. Anyways, that's 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Thank you to Righteous Felon. Thank you to SeatGeek and everybody who listens to the show. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Belly Up YouTube channel, and the 1420, and then the all new home of the Twitter account 1420 Pod. Thanks everybody who listens. Jim, great shows as always. And go Jays. Why not? Hey. There it is, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For Beer Sports Talk and a whole lot more. Thank you very much for listening and watching wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe. Tell people about the show. That's the biggest thing. And remember, everybody, it doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. Have a great day, folks, and we will talk to you later on this week. Thanks for tuning in to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For Beer and Sports Talk and a whole lot more, brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.